All right, and welcome everyone. Welcome to Win at the Horses. I'm Joe Kelley. My dad is out in Vegas right now. Bill Kelley, how you doing, Dad?
I'm doing fine. Doing
Yeah,
fine. Yep.
you're rolling and popping up, and you're just hanging out. You're
Just
just
hanging
doing.
out.
That's right. And I should mention to our viewers that Eric Galata, he's not going to be able to make it today, but he said he wants to join us for the Belmont Preview podcast. So shout out to Eric Galata. He did a great job filling in for you, Dad, for
You
the
sure did.
Kentucky
It's a
Derby. Yeah,
terrific job.
right. So, anyways, we are going to continue along right now and preview the Preakness, which is on Saturday at Pimlico. And also, we may touch on the Black Eyed Susan and some other stakes, seeing how much time we have. We're going to go for an hour. And thanks to everybody who's checking us out here. We're going to pull up the past performances. And why don't we, if it's all right with you, Dad, we'll go bit by bit with the past
Sure.
performances of the Pimlico. I'm just going to get it on my end. How huge of a scratch?
Oh, changes the whole race. I mean, actually makes it a better race
Mhm.
because there, where Muth would have been, you know, a just a short price favorite, it opens up the betting a little bit. I
Right.
think. I think.
So, anyways, we are going to continue right here. Pimlico, number one, Mugato, Jeff Engler, Joe Bravo. We'll be coming from behind. And does this one have a prayer?
No, it's a
No,
toss.
it's a tough.
I mean, I heard another podcast this morning, which I totally agree with. I mean, the only reason this horse is even here is he happened to be uh, a final. They left his name in for the Kentucky Derby, although he didn't get in.
Right.
He had no. Well, he had very few points, and he would have been an easy toss in the Derby. So I don't think he's got any legitimate claim to this at all. Although, I mean, certainly Joe Bravo is a decent jockey, but
Mhm.
I don't think he's really that qualified for this race here.
And we were trying to figure out the last broadcast, myself and Eric, how this one was eligible for
The Derby.
the Derby. What fill us in if there was anything.
Well,
Why
I
was this
think he
one
was
possibly
just the
eligible?
last one standing. I
Okay.
mean, he was so far back, and they never took his name off. So I mean, he was like 24th on the list when they first started looking at the point schedule, and
Hmm.
they, with all of the uh, defections, he just was the last one standing.
Average Joe Stables, but I'm not gonna really spend a lot of
I
time
thought it
on.
was you, but
Yeah, that's right.
I
I don't know
can't
that many.
imagine you being involved in this.
No, no, not at this point. Um, we're gonna move along right now. Rad Ortiz switches to Butchie Reed on this, takes over for Miguel Sanchez. Uncle Heavy, number two. There's been a lot of talk about this one,
Yep.
maybe as a long shot, but then again, coming out of the New York races, do you see this one having a chance?
I don't see him as a win candidate, but he certainly, particularly with IRAD up, he could
Mhm.
be in the third and fourth place if you were needing to go that far.
Yeah, and definitely a boost up on the jockey
Are
side of
you are
things.
you gonna are you gonna show his past performance, or can you?
Yeah, yeah. Let me show that to you. Sorry about that. Um, you don't see it on your end?
I'm still a Mugatu.
Okay. Sorry about that. Well, let me uh, let me dump out of this and then pull it up again.
Okay.
All right. All right. We're gonna Uncle Heavy coming up. Okay.
Mugatoo. I got Mugatoo.
You got Mugatoo?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there we go. Yeah. All I had to do was hit a button. So let's talk about Uncle Heavy and the last two races.
Yeah.
Did well on an off track, which is a possibility on Saturday.
Yeah,
but you're
they're
saying
talking about a lot of rain.
so you're saying the limit would probably be underneath, maybe a
I
third
would
or fourth.
Yeah, I don't see him threatening what I consider the prime candidates.
Right.
I mean, the fact that I heard an interesting stat. I read
Mm-hmm.
on I, let me take this. Just a
Okay.
second. Just a second. I'm on a broadcast.
Okay. So we're going to go along with Uncle Heavy right here and tell you that I think I know where you're going to go with the stat with Irad Ortiz. Let me get your volume on again. Yeah,
Okay.
your probation. So you're still under probationary checks, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So give us the scoop on Uncle Heavy.
Yeah, he has, and this stat apparently was done by I'll think of the name in a little bit, but he in 22 two-turn races
Mm-hmm.
in these in these big grade ones, he
Right.
is 1 for 22, and the one was the first time he out. So I mean, he hasn't done well in these big spots. I mean, I would not use that to throw this horse out, but because he always is a decent rider, but he just hasn't been on the right. I've always wondered why. I mean, he's always on long shots in in the Preakness and the
Right.
Kentucky Derby, and I mean, he's a prime rider. There's nobody really any better than him.
Yeah.
They may be equal, but they're not better. And he's not getting the rides that you would think, So, in any event, I think the horse itself is a back end type of add-on,
Right. And possibly moving up a shade with a wet track.
Yeah, I would, even though it's a wet track, I would think that you got to watch because there's a difference between a sealed, which is almost like running on concrete,
Mm-hmm.
versus a harrowed wet track where they've cut into the ground and the water is seeping down. It plays a lot differently. You have to. They're all tracks are not equal. Let's put it that way.
Right. And
So,
we'll have to keep our eyes out.
There are plenty of races in front of this and two-turn races, so you really want to watch them. During the day.
Unfortunately, it's a boutique meet, so you don't have the data for so many off race tracks there. You just kind of
This
go.
This is really a boutique. It's only once a
yeah.
They use this any more than once a year now.
Yeah. So, hey, let's go with number 3, a horse which ran in the Derby and finished 4th, a length and 3/4 off the winning margin. Catching Freedom with Flavien Prat and Brad Cox. Do you think this one's going to be overbet?
I think it'll be overbet, particularly with Prat on. But again, this horse ran hard 2 weeks ago. And
Right.
so, I mean, he could be affected. He's a dead closer. So again, underneath a very possible candidate, but not for me, not on top.
Right. Okay. The number 4, Muth
It's scratch.
Scratch with a Fever. And
Yeah.
now we move to the Kentucky Derby winner, the number 5, Mystic Dan, Kenny McPeak, Brian Hernandez with just a great ride up the rail. I don't know. Would you consider a perfect trip for that one?
Oh,
Or
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. And well, I mean, it's not a disgrace that he got a perfect trip and
yeah,
held on to win, but come in, he had one try with a very short rest, and he didn't perform well. I think
right.
I think the addition of uh, Iran on the 2 in this race, uh, he needs the rail, and I
Mhm.
don't think he's going to get it. I just think they will work to make sure he's outside. When he's outside, he's not as good.
Now, as far as of course, this one's
He's going to be
going to go
short
up.
price.
Oh yeah, going to be lower than 5-2, and we'll be in the mix there. But I mean, if you're going to go with Mystic Dan, you're going to have to be creative to the rest of
Underneath.
the
Yeah,
underneath,
yeah.
and that's the thing with the Preakness. Most times you don't have as many opportunities to really cash in after the Derby, but you got to make do.
Right, right. Well, you
Yeah,
can't do
right.
anything. They can't get what they don't give you.
Yeah, exactly. The number 6, Seize the Gray, D. Wayne Lucas, a horse which was victorious in the Pate Mile on Kentucky Derby Day. And I remember this horse won up at Saratoga over the summer, and Mr. Torres was aboard for that. And he was so thankful to D. Wayne for putting him on that horse. And now he's won some
But
big races. Yeah.
distance and time in between races do not favor him.
Yeah.
He'll be a pace factor certainly,
Hmm.
but I can't see him win. That's the thing. Again, he's a underneath candidate of some sort, but depending on the price. I mean, if he's 15-1, and you think, I don't see him in the exacta. I see him at third and fourth or fifth at best.
And also the My Racehorse contingent around
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
world
yeah.
will definitely knock the price down. I do like the wet breeding, the Smart Strike, and Unbridled Song, and has shown that can run well on a.
Yeah, but there are a lot of others that have that
Yeah,
solid breathing. I don't think most of these horses have run, other than California. Most of them, where they don't run on, if it's sprinkles, they don't run. Uh, most of the horses in this race have experience on wet tracks.
right.
Like just Steele, he ran a decent race on an off going 4 back at Oaklawn.
Hmm.
So he
Which
actually,
which you,
he
you talked
was in.
about, the number 7, Just Steel, and D. Wayne Lucas, never afraid to come to the dance, no matter what chance that he has. This one, has finished second a third of the starts thus
Now
far.
this
Ran
one
in
I would give an exacta chance,
right.
uh, but not on top. I would say a place or show would be his peak, and he's got a tremendous jock upgrade. I mean,
Hmm.
with the whole, I don't understand the instructions or what they were looking to do in the Kentucky Derby. I mean, the horse was never on the lead type of horse, and he was up there uh, uh,
He was
with
gunning.
with fierceness and Who's the other horse? Something Freedom. What was that? The horse's name?
Catching Freedom.
No, that
No,
wasn't Catching.
no.
What am I? I'm talking about the number 13 or 14 in the race. I've forgotten. He also came from Louisiana. Oh, um, something Phantom, Track Phantom,
Track
Phantom.
Phantom. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Track Phantom and Fierceness were projected to be on the lead, but Just Steel was not, and he paid the price. I mean,
I do like the
Not that-
Rosario re-ride coming back and has a victory.
Yeah,
A couple
yeah.
victories aboard.
well, he
with
won't
this
be on
one.
the lead. I guarantee you that.
No. He'll be settling back and timing his
He'll
move.
be riding right next to catching the number 3, Catching Freedom.
Right. So this one definitely. Oh, what 15-1 morning line odds?
Not bad.
Not going to see that, but you think double digits? You think?
Yeah, I can't see him getting into the single digits. But again, it's Lucas, and everybody will be. I think he's got a better shot than his stablemate that we
Sees
looked
the
at.
gray. Yeah. Right. All right, we're gonna progress right here. The number 8 Tuscan Gold, lightly raced, has raced at 3 tracks. Broke his.
This is my
maiden.
pick.
Okay,
I
Tuscan
think
Gold. Yeah.
this is. Yeah, I think this horse is sitting on go. This is a typical Chad Brown handling of a horse into the Preakness. So he's a win or win place candidate in my mind. As a matter of fact, I've already placed an exacta between this horse and the box, the Imagination, which is Bob Baffert's
Right.
horse. But that, to me, he's the horse I'd be leaning on heavily to supplant Mystic Dan.
Right. And Chad Brown, you can't knock him coming off.
No.
This isn't a huge layoff, but it's a layoff enough that I've been to the track of the Oklahoma up here, and he's got his cavalry out there again. There's just no shortage of horses.
Yeah. Well, Sierra Leone is up there, right? Did you?
Yeah. I haven't actually. They don't have a Sierra Leone towel cloth on, and I'm not exactly great for spotting.
Yeah, look for the biggest horse in the barn.
Yeah, that's it. The biggest butt, right? Yeah.
And they do a character.
What's that?
I said he must be a character.
Who's
because, that? Sierra Leone.
Oh, Sierra Leone.
Every time he runs in the stretch, he starts that swimming with his.
That's right. Yeah.
Left front. And always bears in. They've got to try to correct that.
Right.
He would have won. I mean, I firmly believe it would have been he or the Japanese horse would have won that race if he hadn't,
well, he's actually, he's going to be up here stabling and getting ready for.
I don't know how you correct that. But
that's beyond my.
Has to correct it. Yeah, because every time he runs, he does the same thing.
Right.
He's a brilliant horse. I mean, he really does close very well.
So Tuscan Gold, I do like Tuscan Gold as well for on top, and Chad Brown just being he's got a plan. I'm sure how he brought this horse along and ran down in New Orleans for his past race of Grade 2, the Louisiana Derby. Tyler Gaffalione aboard, who's a tremendous rider. So
Well, Brown had the horse last year that finished second to Baffert's horse, right? It was very, very, very close. Something computing.
Yeah.
So who knows? I think he's a win candidate in my mind.
So you mentioned Imagination, the number 9, who is Imagination actually is, you think it's most likely going to be on the lead?
Oh yeah, I think well, depending on what they do with Seize the Gray, but
Mhm.
I mean, Seize the Gray could be in there to be a rabbit for Just Steel, but Imagination. I listened to a podcast with John White, the California uh, handicapper who is actually does all of the uh, odds making for every
Right, on
race,
Southern Cal. Yeah.
and this was even before Moose leaving. He had picked Imagination, saying he was working uh, as well, if not better, than Booth. So this horse is actually sitting on great, and yeah, on go. He and with Frankie Dettori in the saddle, you can't get any better rider than Frankie. So
Right.
uh, I would say he's a definite win candidate along with the 8. I played an exacta with the 8 and 9 on top of on top of the Catching Freedom,
Hmm.
um, Mystic Dan. Uh, who else do I have? Oh, Just Steel,
Okay.
and so I actually had the 2 in there too. So and I've already bet that. So
You well in advance, right?
yeah, well, I wasn't sure if I'd get a shot yesterday. So
Oh,
I
okay.
mean tomorrow because tomorrow is supposed to be we're moving into our new place. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
So
don't.
you got a busy weekend.
Yeah, well, eh, I'm not sure we'll have our Wi-Fi up in time for this. But we'll
Right.
see. We'll see.
All right. We are going to move along. Where do you want to go for discussion right now? Do you want
Oh,
to stay on Saturday, some of the races, or you want to go to the Black Eyed Susan?
yeah. Let me put my own. Oh, let's go to the Black Eyed Susan while we're talking
Okay.
about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let me get that rolling here. The Black Eyed Susan. It should be a nice day at Pimlico, and this is always a great race. I saw
Oh,
Katie Davis, who won the nightcap at Aqueduct today, and she's riding the number 2 Ringy Dingy.
yeah, yeah. And she's been riding. She's been on this horse for a while, right?
Um, yeah, she's I think twice. No, wait, yeah, 3 times.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. It, hang on. Let me get. For some reason, I don't have the what, up and running. Here we go. Okay, we're
all
there.
right, so we're there, and that's tomorrow. Let me give a time for that: 5:44 Eastern time at Pimlico. It is the Black Eyed Susan. I think the biggest hit I ever had was Pletcher one year.
Hmm.
Um, had a 20 to 1 shot that I was able to hit. So
Was it raining today at Pinnacle? Because they were off the turf.
yeah, I was focused on Aqueduct pretty much all day for
Yeah,
anything. So
and
I'm not sure.
they were off too.
Yeah, that's right.
Did it dry out at all as the day went along, or no?
It got muddy. It didn't totally dry out.
No. Okay.
So so let's go. We'll go right through from the rail outwards. The number 1 Jeannie Marie. I like this one for actually possible uh,
Hmm.
to be in the mix for exotics long shot. Butchie Reed and Miguel Sanchez coming out of Laurel. So it's a local horse for a filly to Maryland. How do you see this one? This one definitely has, especially in the last race, has shown some early foot. Do you see this one
Well,
having any
I
kind of
think
chance?
there's enough pace in this race that although the history on this distance at Pimlico, and there are only 3 races since September the 8th.
Hmm.
It's all been speed. I mean, uh, but and this one has speed to at least influence the pace. Uh, whether she can win or not, I think I think the one that everybody's going to be jumping on is Lemon Muffin,
Yeah.
and this one hasn't had a work since April 27th, and is back on 2 weeks rest. Uh, I think it's to me, and it's going to be bet. I would throw this horse out. Lemon Muffin number 3.
Yeah, two subpar efforts the last run, and name wise, yeah, I think you're
Yeah,
right. It's going to be an underlay. She'll be an underlay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, Ringy Dingy, the number 2, Katie Davis, and a little low on the figures, but still, um, you never know for the exotics. Been working pretty well up here at Saratoga. The Oklahoma, they're not blazing times usually, so um,
mm,
it's a little deeper. Although Gary Contessa's Nutella fellow just is running off the charts, but
mm.
yeah. Well, how do you see Ringy Dingy? Any shot with this one?
Uh, I'm confused by this horse. I mean, the record is good. 4 starts, 2 wins, and Davis has certainly been. Katie's been up on 2 of the wins,
Right.
but I don't know. I'm not sure she's fast enough. I mean, you look at the speed ratings, and you go back to the next horse, Lemon Muffin, and she's running 88, 84, 84, and the 2 uh, run 70, 74, 81, 85. So I don't know. It's anything can happen.
Right.
Does she? Because I think that she moves up if it's wet. That's the best I can say.
Yeah. That was well, at least you were kind for that.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah, it's
mean,
probably true though.
yeah, lemon muffin has the next one has a huge jockey change from Keith Asmussen
Mhm.
to Flavia Pratt. I mean, they're not even in the same uh, circle at all. Tremendous increase in jockey, but I mean, you look at Pratt. I mean, in routes, he's 25 on 73 attempts. So I mean, I'm saying what I think about Lemon Muffin is that at 4-1 he's a no play. If he
Right.
drifts up, then that can be different. But because I have a lot of respect for Flavia.
All right, we're going to move along to the number 4 call. Another play. Local horse has been
This one's a
doing.
play. I mean, this one I think is he's got a 3-win win streak going here, and his speed numbers are increasing every time he runs the last 3. I would say this is a major player, and he's 8-1, listed at 8-1.
Yeah, 8 to
Uh,
1.
this guy Rodriguez, Jamie Rodriguez, is Ness's jockey, in Maryland. So he's well he's here. This guy's got a 25% win rate at on routes. So he's the definite candidate. Definite candidate.
Up next, the number 5 Gun Song, lots of speed with Gun Song, Mark Hennig and John Velasquez. This one has been wintering down in Hallandale Beach in Florida. New York, started out in the New York circuit. This one should get some play as far as, but how effective do you think this horse is going to be up front?
I think this horse is like the previous horse. I think he's definitely a win candidate,
Mm-hmm.
and probably is my pick uh, going into the race. Again, you have to play the board a little bit on this. He's listed at 9-2. If he holds at 9-2, he's a good bet. As the 4 is 8-1. If he's anywhere near 8-1, he's a definite price play.
Definitely has been working well. Nice razor sharp workout in his last on
The
May
two
9th.
horses are about the same. If you look at their speed numbers, they're roughly very similar. The 4 and 5.
Right. So let's go to the number 6. Who Could Ask for Mo? And Uncle Mo, sibling, sired by Uncle Mo. First time blinkers, Shug McGahee and Louis Saez. And this one, do you see a turnaround in form for this one, or do you think maybe just Shug's just trying anything?
I wouldn't bet against Shug, but it seems like a desperation play to be putting blinkers on in a big race like this. He did have an excellent, his best. He topped his speed his last out
Right.
in the Gazelle with Johnny up, but he was a distant fourth. So
I do like the positive workouts. Not the
Mhm.
last one, but the 2 prior ones.
Mhm.
Which, especially the second to last one, a lot better than previous work. So I don't know if the blinkers, helped out with that one.
They must have been
Yeah.
on.
Right.
He's got the best last race speed figure,
Mm-hmm.
but Science hasn't been lighting it up in the last few days. Uh, he, I mean, he's I mean, he's an aggressive jockey, and this horse, well, had Jose on him and Tyler Gaffleone, and his only win was with Camacho. So
This one's a wild card.
He's not on my top win list.
All right, the number 7, Corpazzo, Vino Rosso, Curlin. I mean, you can't knock the pedigree there. Peter Urton shipping in with Tyler Gaffleone. How good is this filly?
Well, everybody seems to like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like her. I think she may have had the highest. No, the 5 had the highest speed figure run this year for this group. She's definitely candidate. There are a lot of people who she's been running against very good competition.
Mm-hmm.
I would say not my pick, but certainly a win candidate.
Okay. And we move to the outside. Joel Rosario getting back aboard this one, who had a win before. I mean, Joel went out to Sunland for one of the races there, the Sunland Park Oaks. So obviously, wanted to follow this one around, and is now back for Steve Asmussen. This one, another one, is going to try to be up front. This filly. What's your take on Recharge?
Will definitely be a pace factor. Whether that's enough, I'm not sure. Got Rosario. It's funny. If you look at the race at Sunland, she went wire to wire with Rosario up. If she's going to do that again, attempt to go wire to wire, she's a factor.
Yeah. I've got her not exactly on the front at the first call, so it may be a tall task to keep up with the other front runners.
Yeah. One thing you notice about Rosario, if he gets to the lead, he's tough to pass. Which is unfortunately he doesn't go to the lead very often. So I don't know. I definitely a pace factor. But I'm not. It's not. I'm going to pick the 4.
Okay, and
over
I'm
the
gonna
5.
4 over the 5. I'm going to go a little bolder right now. Not super bold, but I'm going to go with the 6. Who could ask for Mo? And
okay, good.
Hope for that turnaround. Those works, and we'll see about that.
Good.
Yeah. So hopefully one of us connects on that one, because we're not giving out the front runners the top prices on that race. So maybe
the 4 is 8-1 on the morning line. So
that's pretty good.
It's not a favorite.
Right.
My system. What are the system picked the 3. I don't like the pattern. It's coming back on 2 weeks, and no work since April 27th. For me, that's a pass.
Yeah, unless he went just off the race at Churchill, but that wasn't an impressive one either.
No.
The Oaks, yeah. So
and he's going to take a lot of money.
Oh, no doubt, yeah.
He should be the second favorite, or third favorite.
Where do you want to jump to next? We've got about 20 minutes to go in the program.
Let me take a short break, get some water. I'll be right back.
All right. We're going to break a little bit. This is live. We want to thank everybody for tuning in, viewing on Twitter, Facebook, and we'll have this up on YouTube. For some reason, the live connection with YouTube was deleted. So if you've been with us from the beginning, we'll have it up there. If you just want to see it, we'll have it archived up on YouTube. Win at the Horses podcast. All right. You where do you want to go, Dad?
How about the race right in front of the one we just talked about, the 12 on Friday?
Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna go right over there. It's the Pimlico Special, which is a nice route, and we were gonna. Yeah, here we go. We've got Paco Lopez, number 1, Steve Asmussen training there, and Paco never can be ruled out. Tell me about this one.
Got a lot of, he's got speed. He'll be up there. It's not my personal pick, but and again, it's a huge turnaround in jocks. I mean, he's going from Keith Asmussen, who 2 things about him. He's very intelligent, obviously, but his frame he's not long for the jockey world, in my opinion.
Kind of like Ramon Perez, frame.
Yeah. I mean, This kid, if you see him, he's really much taller than anybody in the room.
Hmm.
He's just very thin. But Paco is, Paco's Paco.
Yeah, the horse has definitely been working well, and this will be the longest Harlow Cap has been running in his career. But hey, listen, this is not the most common distance for most of these horses,
Yeah.
except the number two, the favorite, King's Barnes, who
Yeah.
has 2 out of 3 at the distance. Todd Pletcher, Louis Saez, and how
Well,
this one was.
he's the
Yeah.
one you got to beat, and then he's
Mhm.
the horse to beat. Uh, the he's going to be there. I mean, he'll be close enough to, he'll be within 3 lengths of the at the at the 3/4.
Right.
So definitely win candidate and the highest rated speed figure in the bunch. So he's a definite factor. He's listed at 7-5.
Right.
So he's not
Yeah, you're not
going
going
to be
to
a surprise.
exactly. Yeah, right. The number 3 Double Crown, Norm Cash, and this one may be on the downside of the career, but is going to try in this one. So, do you see it the same way?
Yeah, I didn't give him much.
Is this one from another era? 52
50,
appearances on the racetrack. That's like one of those vintage horses.
and he's actually run 4 times at Pimlico, so
Right, right.
with a decent record.
Yeah.
He's been in the money all 4 times. So, he's probably an in the money candidate at a decent price. What is he, 30-1? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, the number 4 Pyrenees, trained by Sherry DeVoe. I love the DeVoe barn, but this one is stepping up. Has run well on a wet track. Tomorrow, probably not going to be wet, but is this one another one possibly over his head?
No, this has her speed figures are ascending each race, and not big jumps.
Mm-hmm.
3 back it was a big jump, but I think this horse is on the. I have a hard time seeing him beating the 2 Kingsbarn.
Right.
But they're not that far apart they're very close in speed figure. So depending on the price, if it's 8-1, she's value or he's value.
Horse will be coming from behind Flavien Prat. Jeff Hiles, Time for Trouble, the number 6. And this one, 10-1. I don't know this horse. Does it excite you at all?
The 5 Red Route
No,
1?
the 6, Time for Trouble.
Oh, the 6. I'm sorry. No. Although with Pratt up, you always have to take another look. I don't think he's fast. If you go 3 back, he ran in the mud at this distance at Oaklawn and won. So you gotta if it is an off track, you gotta take another look.
And definitely one who loves the winner's circle.
Yeah.
And runs well on turf and dirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely a well-rounded horse. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, got a sharp workout on May 10th.
Right.
Bullet. So yeah, I would. Although I don't know where's HPT.
I was going to ask you the same thing. Somebody out there in viewer land, please hip us to HPT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
help a brother out.
Whatever. He's been running there. I mean, training there on every race this year. So whatever it is, he's been this year. He's run 3 times, 1 win and 1/3. So you know,
Now
I
we've
would.
got the number 7, Mike Rapoli, owning this horse, which is a local Maryland horse. Husband and wife are the connections. Brittany Russell training, Sheldon riding, and this one, wow, this one is going to be coming from the clouds. But a chance for the exotics, you think, right?
Be in a definite race with the 6.
Mm-hmm. What did you say?
The 2 of them they'll both be back there, you know, needing binoculars to see the leaders.
Yeah, but has the best closing fractions and definitely can't be faulted for um, knowing the local scene. But yeah, this is a tall task to compete up with this race.
Yeah, well, I looking at the competition rating, uh, really lacking from some of the others. I mean, you know, Red Route One faced a lot better competition. So did King's Barn, and
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I think those 2 horses are just much better than the local horses.
So
So
right now we're going to go to Royal Ship, the number 8, Grand Motion. This is the second time he's had this horse in his barn. John Velasquez, a horse from California. You think second time's the charm with this one, or just it's not up to task?
uh, what number is it?
The number 8.
8.
Yeah,
For some reason, uh, I
Royal
don't think
Royal Ship.
I don't think it's fast enough to even be in consideration. Even with Johnny B on, I mean, you know, he won once with or twice with Smith on, so he's had a decent jockey out in Santa Anita, but I you know no I wouldn't describe.
So what is your take on the top finishers here in this race?
I think it's King's Barn all the way.
Okay, I'm going to throw in the number 1 with Paco and
Okay,
see if this one can turn the tables on the rest of the field. We'll have to see.
yeah,
Yeah.
the yeah. I mean, I would say that King's Barn as a double candidate into the 13th race might be a decent looking for value. You'd probably get something that way.
Right. Now, how about the 11? Which race do you want to go with? The 11th, the turf sprint, or do you want to go back to Saturday with the turf race over there?
Well, let's quickly look at the. We don't have to go horse by horse, but the race 11. Uh, Interesting enough that uh, the pressure or the mid packers have a chance
Mm-hmm.
on this course, which is you go because it's usually a race to the quarter and then it's over. But it seems like this track gives the mid packers a shot to close. Um, but there's a lot of early speed, which you would expect in this type of race.
Yeah. A horse which I kind of looked at as possibly being a price. The number 3 Port Townsend definitely has a lot of speed. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and you can't. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that definitely candidate.
Yeah,
It's dropping in class.
Brian Hernandez. Yeah, has been won on both his
Brady
rides.
says he'll do better at 5 furlongs,
Mm-hmm.
and my thing, he's up in Wimperson. Definite candidate.
Right.
I would.
Yeah, there's
what people want is
what's that?
sign me up for 15-1 because the 4, which is a ward horse, I think will take a lot of money.
Right. Yeah, Coffee Maker, which is Wesley Ward. Everything which people like to bet on,
Yeah, I mean,
which
you
can't
can't.
fault his proficiency at turf
His
sprints.
record.
Yeah.
But he's seems to do best at Keelan.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some possible strategy. I know at betting strategy for this weekend. I know that the Derby had a lot more choices as far as possibly making a big score on there. How do you look at a stakes day such as Friday and Saturday? To look to make your plays and stay focused and not go overboard. What do you like to do on days like this?
Personally, I like I did today. I had some feeling about the Preakness, the Saturday race, and I bet it right away. There's on my ADW is it has the pre-Preakness advanced wagering,
Right.
and I took advantage of that. And I try to in my now this is for me. I try to things that I really see and I like. I bet early, and then then the pressure is off, and I'm watching for some key opportunities as the day goes along.
So did you move the needle with your bet on the odds?
Oh, absolutely. At least in my house it was.
Hey, being out in Vegas, you've been out there for a long time. What is your favorite casino to watch horse races if you go? I mean, I know you don't go all the time or
No,
in the past.
Yeah, South Point's the best.
Okay.
For racing fans. First of all, they have their book. They have a separate book for the sports, and racing is separate. So, to me, is not even close. They're miles ahead of everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But some of the others that are good are the Caesars has got a decent book. I've been at the Wynn a few times, and all of the station properties are except their new one are very friendly to horse players.
I didn't even really take a look at the sports book at the horse show while we were out there for NHC. It's a small one, right? If any, right?
It used to be, of course, when it was Bally's, it used to be a very big horse venue. It was like an amphitheater, really. I mean, that's what it looked like a movie theater where the seats from the top to the bottom to where you made your bets was downhill.
Right.
And it was big. I mean, it was really good at one time. And a famous guy who runs the heck you can't get it here in Vegas, but what was
tip sheet?
No, this is a online type of thing. Hang on, it's not.
I'll give you a chance to figure that one out. But I wanted to give a shout out before we signed off in a few minutes to Torpedo, my buddy from Connecticut, who usually watches the podcast. A great friend of mine, big horse guy, got me involved in buying into little small shares of horses. And he's a marathon runner, ultra marathon runner. He sent me something in the mail today to put some bets in for the Win at the Horses team to put bets in with his money. So we got to put our heads together and work with him. So Torpedo, if you're out there, thanks, brother.
This is it's called what is it? DK Sports or DK Horse.
Right.
John Avello is the
Okay.
guy that he used to run the Valleys when I knew him, and is always a top, uh, you know, handicapper and more importantly a better. I mean, he really knows his stuff. So
Did
the
you ever go out to the Pimlico?
no, I've never been.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in 3 weeks we'll have a lot of talk about the Belmont because we've been out to the
You're right on
Belmont
site.
together. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've been to the Belmont together. I think this upcoming will be my fourth, but we went to one back in '93 or '94, I think it was. So
Yeah. Do
yeah,
you? What do you think about the? I mean, you hear a lot of it. Is there going to be an asterisk put on the
yeah. I
on
see
this when they running?
on X. There's talk. There's talk about everything on there, but
Right.
yeah, you know, I mean, there could be, but they're going to be running the next year as well. So
Hmm.
it doesn't really, to me, it doesn't make too much of a difference. But I know for the pure betters and pure historians, they may think otherwise.
Hmm.
How
Well,
about you? What do you
yeah.
think?
There's a to me. There's a big difference between the. Well, I mean, just look at the success rate of many of the Kentucky Derby winners
Hmm,
in the Belmont when it was run at Belmont in 12 furlongs.
right.
There's a big difference. I mean, it's really a test of champions, and uh, but Saratoga will be an interesting, because the track is totally different than Belmont. I mean, you're talking
Oh
about
yeah, right.
big sweeping turns at Belmont, and sharp turns at Saratoga. Is 10 furlongs 2 turns or 3 turns at
No, 2 turns.
2 turns?
Yeah. So they're getting the track ready. There's some additional structures they're putting up for the
Oh, I
fans.
bet.
I saw, and they're actually giving the school day off. I think it's the Friday off to the kids in the area because they said there's going to be too much traffic in the area for school buses. And
Uh-huh.
I've noticed more people at the Oklahoma training track than there were last year already.
Mm.
People of interest and everything like that, and security's even tighter for some reason.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
I mean the fact that they're jumping the pricing is 500 times higher than it is normally is.
Yeah, I bought the 4-day pass, so I'm good for that. Just flash it. I put in for the season pass as well. So
Don't you get it because of your HOA or whatever
no,
in your
no.
in your building? I thought that.
Oh
I,
no, that's an idea. We've got a horse windmill on the clubhouse. Oh, I want to make mention for those coming out to Saratoga who bet via the machines. Um, there's a guy who lives in our neighborhood. We were at the dog park, and he told me that they're installing all new betting machines. If you're going to bet standard through the machine like that, they're going to be all new. And he told me that, the Bet Squad, that he works for the Bet Squad there.
Mhm.
He said, I said, how much training do they give you on that? Because they have to instruct the people there. He says, just the day before the races. So,
A lot of experience.
yeah. I guess they don't want to. I guess they don't want to pay more than an extra day and just hope for the best. But it should be a really exciting time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You should be looking forward. Well, that's 3 weeks away, right? Or
yeah,
three
three
and a
weeks
half.
away, and yeah,
Yeah,
I mean Thursday,
yeah,
the first day of the 4-day meet. They're
yeah.
pushing for Thursday and Sunday for people to get tickets. I guess those are going to be the lighter days, but
And then it goes
yeah,
back to Aqueduct, right? I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
they can call it whatever they want. The
Right,
track
right.
is Aqueduct.
They're going to head back down there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of horses up here. I told you I ran into Gary Contessa. He's got horses up here.
Uh-huh.
I heard the two ones from Saratoga, Becky's Joker
Uh-huh.
and Nutella Fella. They're training really well. He said that he didn't tell me. He told the real players of the backstretch. I watched the interview that he's prepping them if things continually go well for the Woody Stevens and the Acorn.
Uh-huh.
But we'll see.
Is that in the 4-day?
Yeah, up
Uh-huh.
there.
Which of those horses was the one he surprised everyone with?
Well, Becky's Joker was, I think it was on opening day or
Yeah, that's the
one.
one.
That's the
Came
filly
from
who
dead
upset. Yeah,
last
it was a maiden.
and
Yeah,
blew everything away.
yeah, and I think that was one of the highlights of the meet. I mean, he was slapping hands with the people in the winner's circle, the fans, and um, the last day of the meet, Nutella Fella was that huge bomb. Alvarado ran and came from behind to win, and yeah, so he bookended a great meet for himself.
Mm, mm.
So we'll
Yeah,
see.
he's I looked for his. Well, they were 2-year-olds then. They're 3 now, right?
Yeah, he did say he said it was a little tougher on the winter with the horses, but he's well stocked for right now, and he said they look good on paper. We'll have to see how they run, but he's looking to run some. I guess it was this week. I haven't checked the entries, but he's talking some horses this weekend.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
We'll keep
so
an eye out.
we'll see. Yeah,
But that's the one thing that I've had problems with in the past. When you get to big days like this with the Preakness, I have a tendency to not look at the other tracks. You know, I play Belmont all the time, but
right.
I don't look at it. You know.
Yeah.
And
Now, how about before we wrap up? We were both out at the NHC a couple months ago, and there's so much action for the actual races in the tournament, but people are betting sports at the same time, basketball, live sports,
Yeah.
and also other tracks like that. I don't know how people do it.
I don't know how they do it. You know, I grew up in racing in Hong Kong, and you know there was 2 tracks that ran twice a week, and
Right.
You had one day off, and then all the PPs came out for the next 2 days, and you spent your day handicapping everything, and you didn't look at anything else.
Right.
There was only one game in town, really.
Yeah.
Here it's totally different. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of games out there, and I think I haven't checked, but it may be the same thing upcoming next March out there. The college basketball tournaments may be playing around the same time, right? I think
They're in March, right?
yeah, they're booked for the next 2 years out at the Horseshoe, the NHC. So
In March?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
most likely. Hey, Dad, thanks for joining us. You're
My
back
pleasure.
on the scene from the Kentucky Derby. We got our signals crossing there, and you know, hope Eric. We're going to see you in a few weeks, and Eric Galata did a great job on the Kentucky Derby last week, and everybody. I hope we gave you a little bit of information that you can use for these upcoming 2 days at Pimlico. And if we steered you wrong, wasn't intentional.
We'll try to do better in 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're really gonna. We'll give you reports from the Oklahoma training track because we'll be up there.
You'll be right there. So
Yeah.
right.
So I'm gonna be. You know, it's a 5-minute drive from the home here. So may even go tomorrow morning and see what's up there.
Good.
Yeah.
Joe,
All right, everybody. Win
Thank
at the Horses. Thanks everybody for checking us out. You can watch this on YouTube. It'll be archived up there in just a little bit. Take care, everyone. Good luck.
Good luck.